What did I do wrong that cost me $100 to fix this Mahindra tractor? Stick around and find out. Guess we'll go get Mad Max out and bring it up. I need to take the loader off, I think, because these bolts down here, I've got most of them back on, but well, that one's broken for sure. I was just looking at some other pictures of these. So these are all cranked down, but then there's a couple more underneath that I can't get on. You see that one right there? And there's one more up there because I can't get the loader. I can't do it with the loader on it. So I'm gonna go dump the loader off it and see if I can move the frame enough to get it lined up into position. What I'll probably have to do is loosen up every one of the bolts and then see if I can jockey it to where I want it. But I'll take the loader off, and this will be the first time I've had it off, so we'll see how that goes. All right, so I've never had this off, and obviously it's dirty. I've been using it, but I think in order to get these loader mount bolts in, because I can't get the holes to line up, they just won't line up. I'm gonna have to take the loader off, and then I can maybe loosen up all the bolts and hopefully jockey it into position and get it where I want it. So I think by taking this loader off will let me get that done. So take this out here. Here's my parking stand. I'm gonna go ahead and put this in, which is right here. This is best if you had like a cement pad, like your garage or someplace. So when this goes down, it's going to want to go in the float, and we're going to basically retract the cylinders to get this off the cradle. But I'm going to set that block under there because we're on dirt. So with this up in the air, we should be able to, these right here are loose. They're not, they don't have any tension on them whatsoever. Just be careful. Clip on the back, those things are a real bear. Not exactly fun, and it's going to snap anyway because it's so tight in there. So just be careful when you take these off, you don't get your fingers. That pops straight out of the cradle. Do the same on the other side. There's no tension on these whatsoever, and this side comes right out easy because there's no valve there. Don't lose those parts. So I'm going to go ahead and start the tractor up. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to set this down and curl the bucket back, and that should lift these right up. And you just want to be careful that when this comes out, you're not going to pinch any hoses. So this is located pretty well, so it's pointed upward. So I'm not worried about those, and the ones underneath aren't really in the way either. Going to back up a little bit, real slow. I'm going to shut the tractor off, and then I'm going to take the pressure off so I don't get oil in the face. So I just really think if you had this on cement, I don't have any cement, but if you had it on cement, that would be ideal. These right here, usually you got to mess with them just a little bit. Sometimes they come off really well, and sometimes you got to mess with them. And put these caps in. If you've ever had these things dirty, they're really difficult to put back on. And then put these covers back on here. So I think it comes off a lot easier than it probably goes on, but we'll find out because we're going to put it back on after we check these bolts. I think a lot of people get intimidated when it's time to take the loader off, and once you do it a few times, it'll be old hat, and it really doesn't take any effort to get the loader off. It's just if you don't jockey it just right, trying to get the pins back in, that can be a different story. And I got my Mahindra shirt on this morning. It was a coincidence. So desperate times call for desperate measures. I went and broke out the big guns. So I have my tap, and I'm just gonna see how this works out for me without busting the tap off inside. Because it gets to a certain point and then it's solid resistance, and I just don't want to force it, because if I bust that off, it's all over. Not easily turnable. If you've ever busted a tap off inside something, you know how screwed you are once that happens. Seems to have done the trick. I think. I'll find out here in a second. Maybe I just need to chase the threads out inside, I'm not sure. Because I get to a certain point and then it's just not coming off. So I think what I'm going to go do is go down to the hardware store and just buy a shorter bolt, which, you know, I understand it's supposed to go in a certain distance, but that's just not gonna. Put some thread locker back on there. All right, so 1/2 inch 20 tap, and then I got these flange bolts. I think that'll hopefully solve the problem. So that one's all tapped out. All tapped out. Again, it's the wrong wrench. So we'll have this all back together and I'll be back. I'm going to shoot the remainder of this video in 4.3, so let me know if you think the quality is better. But anyway, it looks like I got all the bolts back in, and let's go put the loader on, because I don't need this tractor without the loader. I just took it off because I thought it'd be easier to fix the loader frame, but like I ended up doing was tapping it out. So let's start the tractor up and bring it around and see if we can hook this back up as easy as we got it off. I'll be surprised. So what I should be able to do is extend the cylinders. That should put that in the cradles. Operative word is should. Let's just get this all back on. Start in reverse. So we got black, yellow. Now these right here are also what people call poor man's hydraulics. So if you don't have a remote and you need a remote, all you have to do is just disconnect the bucket, not the loader, but the bucket. And the next one is red. Yeah. So it's in a cradle. I think I can get this side in over here. And it's on, just like that. So it didn't really go that badly. I really thought it was going to be a little bit more difficult, especially since I'm off on the train. But you know, I got to put that kickstand away because
you know what I'll do is I'll drive off and leave the kickstand down and then bend it, and then that's the end of that. So before I do anything else, I gotta take care of that. I appreciate you watching. Stick around, and we'll talk to you next time.